that, then it will automatically starts recording. Yes, the recording.
We need to understand that all the memory architecture, like or the background processors.
Okay.
Okay. So, and apart from that, you might be having some network, sorry, like so external connectivity. You might be having some Ethernet port or any switch port. Okay. So this is all your hardware level.
Okay.
This is all you need, right? This is a minimum requirement to run a server.
Okay, here
Like if you want,
uh, disk means where we'll store the information, right?
yeah, storage devices.
Okay.
Okay. Why I'm saying so? Because but first of all, before we start, you should be able to imagine how the server looks like. What are the components, right? When I say memory, you should say, okay, there is some like something like RAM. Processor, like you might be having some Intel Xeon processors.
Yes.
Based upon that, they might have their own CPUs, their own cores. So you need not to go on to that because this is one-time activity and your customer will have decided it. Okay. Okay. So just let me talk about 1 second. Let me minimize. So can you just give me some very few operating system that you are having? Operating system options you might have, right? You told like Linux. Okay. Unix is just a basic kernel. On the top of that, they have delivered Linux, Solaris, right? Oracle, Red Hat, Linux, right? Ubuntu. Okay. Have you heard about that? You are working in IBM, so they must be using AIX.
I didn't hear that one.
Okay, so AIX is an IBM product, IBM operating system.
Okay.
So like, what the problem with the IX? It's a like most robust operating system available for the servers.
Okay.
Okay, so what happens? But the problem is this can be run on only P series servers.
Okay.
Okay, so P series, like this server is a P series, like you purchase a desktop from Dell.
Okay.
So in the server side, Oracle, like Linux, IBM has a product hardware, P series, like P series, P6 series, P7 series. So this operating system can be only on P series.
Okay.
Not on the other servers. Like if you purchase server from Dell, you cannot install Dell because this does not support Intel based softwares. Just give me 1 minute. I'm getting a call. Who is this? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. So while I was, so suppose there's a P series hardware, you can install IBM AX. Okay. So I have spoken about the servers. There might be different vendors, like you might purchase from Dell, Hitachi, or everything. And that this may come from the different vendors. This processor will come from the different vendors. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is just overall. So what our focus is, as a DBA, you have to focus what is in your memory
Okay.
and what is in your disk. Okay, let's for a take example, like we have a server, total capacity of memory 20 GB,
Okay.
very small server. This is very small. Like there are cases like some
And
servers have
I have one question.
Mhm.
So it's a maybe silly one. How our database related to server? I mean, physically, is there any?
Yeah. Okay. So I will explain what is the database. Just give me some time. I will come on that.
Okay.
But for now, like databases are all the files. Suppose you place any file, right? That will be stored in here in disk,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like there might be multiple disks.
Multiple disks.
You might be 10, 15, 20 disks, right?
Yes.
So it is you can decide on which disk you want to write.
Okay.
Again, like when you access the data, you will not, user cannot connect to directly to disk, right? User will connect to that memory RAM, right? So something should be something should interact with this memory, and when user requests the data from server, then this memory area should interact to the disk and give you the output.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. One more thing, like disk is always very slow. Like disk, like its speed is just governed by how fast it can rotate.
Okay.
Right? So if your speed, your disk can rotate at a fast speed, you can get a higher throughput, higher speed from the disk. But again, this is a mechanical drive.
Okay.
So every mechanical device has its own limitation. So like maximum I think that is available in the market is 15,000 RPMs. So a disk cannot move faster than 15,000 revolutions per minute.
Okay.
Right? So generally you know, right? RAM is faster than your disk.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we do, we try to cache maximum data. So what is the frequently accessed data, or there might be some table that is very frequently accessed.
Okay.
So you might want to cache that table here in memory for longer time. So as a DBA, your ultimate goal, or all the setup has an ultimate goal to make the things faster, make the queries response faster. Okay. So how does it like RAM memory comes into the picture? How does it help? So if I just go through the slides, it will not help. Just try to imagine we have a memory, we have 24 GB memory on server.
Okay.
Okay. And suppose part of like 24 GB, like operating system will use some memory, right?
Yeah.
Like I have this one, suppose, just take an example of this one, Windows 7, right? Some CPU might be being used by this operating system itself.
Yeah.
Right? So what I say, let's see, just sometime my spelling may be some wrong, so I will not look into that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Suppose 10 GB available for database.
Okay.
So what I'm saying, you have total installed 24 GB of RAM here, and you say like, okay, only let me allocate 10 GB to the database.
Okay.
Okay. On a server, you can have multiple databases. But here I am taking a very simple scenario, like I have only one database running on this server.
Okay.
Okay. If you increase this memory to 240 GB, you can run 10 databases. Right. Again, this 10 GB is decided how much load you want to put in the database. Like 10 GB is very small. If your database size in terabytes, like you are working in a telecom project, so you must see like there might be servers who are having terabytes of memory on server. Okay, and for one database you may allocate 200 GB, 300 GB, just only on memory area.
Okay.
So that you will see on for the telecom projects especially.
Okay.
Okay, so let's consider I have 10 GB available for that database. Now the question comes, okay, let me color some area. Okay. What is that? Okay, just try to understand, like apart from this totally 24 GB, I have this reserved 10 GB for your database. Clear enough?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you will ask the question
Okay.
of where this 10 GB is being used, how it is being used. This is not like you give 10 GB to database and you have to understand where my 10 GB memory is going.
To you said that cache area like that. So we have to
Yeah.
store some frequency.
So you should be able to explain all that components that you're using. So there are two components of a memory that is allocated to database, SGA and PGA.
Okay.
This is stand for shared global area. This is program global area.
Okay.
Okay. Shared global area is something that is shared between all the users.
Uh,
So okay,
yeah.
PGA, this is specific to user. I will explain you, don't worry. Okay, so let's concentrate on SGA. Now for example purpose, let's take it is 8 GB.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from 10 GB, suppose my SGA is using 8 GB and PGA is using 2 GB.
Okay.
For now, there are concept is maybe a bit different. Once we explain it, how this is getting distributed.
Yeah.
Like you will ask how you said okay 8 GB to SGA and 2 GB to PGA. So this is just for example. Ultimately, once you understand the concept, I will tell that how it is getting allocated.
But,
What is that? Okay.
But actually our so original data where it will store in 24 GB
Disk.
disk.
No. See, just try to imagine like you have a disk. It might be of terabytes. So I am discussing all this thing of memory. I am not going to the disk.
Okay.
So I am just discussing what is available on your RAM.
Mm-hmm.
I told okay on server you have 24 GB.
Okay.
So 10 GB is for database and 10 GB is divided again. There are two components of this 10 GB, SGA and PGA.
Okay.
SGA is shared between all the users. Like if there are 100 users connected to the database, everyone will be using this 8 GB area.
Okay.
Like they can share this area between each other.
Okay.
And PGA, like if you have allocated some MB of the PGA to a user, another user cannot access another space. This is your private.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, you will ask a question. What is SGA components? Understand? Like we are talking about just about that memory. We are not touching the disk.
Okay. Yeah, I got now.
Okay. Why we are doing? Because we want to give that faster results.
Yes.
See, like just imagine like if you play a movie on your laptop, what happens when you run it, open the file first time, it is slow. Because what happens, you read that file from disk to your RAM. Suddenly when you open the second time, it opens fast because this might be, you might have cached that data to your RAM.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Now you know, right? We are discussing just only memory. Don't think about the disk. We will come to the disk part later.
Yeah.
Okay. So all my target is just to explain where this 10 GB is going on from the RAM.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So this is just a slide. Okay. So this is a memory. You can say all this page contains your 10 GB.
Yes.
8 GB to this area.
Yeah.
For SGA and 2 GB for PGA. Again, where this 8 GB is going, so there are this like 8 GB shared pool is taking some area, database buffer cache is using some area, redo log buffer using some area, large pool is using some area,
Okay.
Java pool is there, strings pool are there, okay?
Okay.
So let's discuss about first database buffer cache.
Okay.
Okay. What it stores? Let me go. There is another specific slide. I will raise it for to explain. Okay, just go through it. Can you read it?
Yes.
So,
It's part of SGA. Holds copy of
Mhm.
data blocks that are read from data files. Is shared by all concurrent users.
First line is clear.
Yeah. L1 button.
Second line holds the copies of the data blocks that are read from data files
Okay.
and is shared by all the concurrent users.
Means.
Okay, I told you, right? Suppose here is a block. This is database for it is zoomed here, seen here.
Okay.
So what happens? Suppose a block, it is in on disk. Here is a small block.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When a user reads this block, you will bring this block to here.
This one.
Right.
Yeah, memory.
Yeah. In memory. Where in memory? So Oracle is saying for that I have dedicated a database buffer cache area.
Okay.
Okay. Now, suppose you read this block here and in the memory, and suppose user U1 connects it.
Okay.
Okay. Suppose there is user 1 that gets connected to it one. Okay. Suppose you run a select query and your job is done.
Okay.
Again, suppose user 2 logs in and he want to query the same block.
Okay.
So do the user 2 need to go to disk
No.
or it can satisfy the query from memory?
Yes.
Tell me, is it faster? It's a good approach?
Yes. It's faster.
Idea is good?
Yeah.
So this is the whole idea behind your database buffer cache.
Okay.
Okay. Again, you will ask a question.
If,
Go ahead.
if different users they want different blocks, the information from different blocks. So at that time, suppose if you don't have the memory, enough memory in this one, so so at that time,
okay,
you need to come to the disk, right?
Yeah. Okay. See, if you run a query first time or you want to select a block first time, for sure you have to go to disk.
Yeah.
But for the next time, you may avoid it.
Okay.
Is right the same? Like ultimately, when user 2 runs the same query, why he should go to disk when I can when user 1 has already done the work and he has brought this block here, right?
Yes.
Why user 2 cannot take the benefit?
Yes. So
that is why. Yeah, go ahead.
But my question is, user 2 want information from different block. So it will also store in the memory, right?
Yeah. If user user 2 wants another block, then user 2 has to bring this block.
Yeah. Like
for the first time.
Need information from different blocks. So every information is stored in the memory, right?
Yeah.
So what if that
ultimately any
full line?
Okay, I got your question. Okay, what happens? Suppose this.
I have 10 users. I want information from 10 different.
Suppose you have. Okay. Suppose you have 10 users. Suppose this is user 10.
Yes.
Okay, and let's take for example this area like database buffer cache. Okay. Suppose this can hold only 10 blocks. Okay, and user 1 reads one block, 2 reads one block, 3 reads one block. So 10 blocks is read.
Yes.
So this area is filled. Now you want to ask me, what will happen like if you use user 11 connects and it wants to read 11th block?
Okay.
Right, this is your question, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, what will happen? So there is a mechanism of LRU, least recently used.
Okay.
Okay, so whichever block is least recently used.
U1.
It is not necessary, it will get discarded.
Okay.
Okay, it is not necessary that is U1 is the oldest one. Yes. Suppose U1 read something and a user comes and it says, okay, suppose user X comes and it reads the same block. Yes. So it is not recently used. Yeah, okay. That means you got the concept, right? What is least recently used?
I got.
Okay, it is not the time when it was read first time. It is the time which block is like least usable.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So in case this area is filled, it will get least recently used block will get flushed.
Flushed. Okay.
Okay. Again, this is the one use in the select. You are reading it.
Okay.
suppose, what if you want to update?
Update.
You have read this blog, it's a read only mode, right?
Yes.
But second scenario, it may be you want to update some block.
Okay.
That means you want to insert something. Okay.
Yeah. So it will go to disk, right? Again, we need.
No, but see, it will go to disk. But again, the question comes: first, it will be get updated in the memory, right? Where in the memory? Database buffer cache. It for sure. Sometime it will go to disk. Suppose you write a file in your laptop. Do you directly write to disk, or you write to memory, then memory writes to disk?
A memory will write disk, right?
Right. So here you will write a block in memory, and memory's responsibility to write to the disk.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
When it will write, I will explain it. Okay. Hold on for that.
Yeah.
Now it's clear.
Oh,
So all that, okay. There is a term dirty blocks.
okay.
Dirty blocks is the block that has been.
Is it related to buffer cache or is it separate one?
Yeah, it is related to database buffer cache.
Okay.
The blocks that has been updated here, but not written to disk. Like memory can hold it for longer time. Memory may decide, okay, I will not write to, you may have updated it here,
Okay.
but your memory may decide, okay, I will not write it immediately.
Yes.
Okay, so that is called dirty blocks.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So this is the just basic use of database buffer cache. Any questions?
No.
Okay. So let me go through another box. Where is that? That is, we have covered this database buffer cache. Yeah, similarly you have another block, memory block, that is shared pool.
Okay.
What is shared pool? Let me open it. What the other, there are, shared pool has other components. Shared SQL area like library cache, data dictionary cache, fixed area, others.
Okay. Okay. All
If you go,
components in that shared pool.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, shared pool has sub-components. If you go to the slide, you will not get anything. This is nothing written here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just tell me, you know the select queries, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's enough for me. So we are going to discuss shared pool. Okay, just first tell me, you have to go to airport.
Okay.
How do you go? You might have 2-3 ways. Through city, through highway,
Okay.
or through any other, right? So you decide it, suppose you have to catch a flight, then you decide which path is best for you.
Yeah, which one will take?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shortest time.
Yeah, shortest time. I'll choose that one.
Okay. So how do you decide? You have some information, metadata.
Yes, I should get some information from others or.
Yeah. You might call to your friends who are on the highway, who are in the city, how's the traffic there?
Yes.
You may use Google Maps or some information you are gathering.
Yes.
Okay. So this gathering information will take time. It's a time-consuming process. You're putting some resources for that. And if you have, there are chances like you might have to go airport several times, like in your family tomorrow.
Yeah, I should have some idea, right? Already.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So is it possible, suppose tomorrow morning your cousin had to go on the airport from the same route. So your cousin will put the same time, right? Okay, should I go with this? Like suppose you invested 20 minutes to just finalize the route. Okay, tomorrow morning your cousin, your friend might have to just invest 20 more minutes. So is it possible like you can share the information just?
Yes.
worry about that. Don't ever worry about that. What route to take? Just take this one. This is the best, and I have tested it.
Yes.
Your friend can take a benefit of that.
Yeah.
The work that you had done.
Yeah, he can save the time.
Okay. So come to here. You understood the example. Select, suppose, salary from EMP table. Okay, where EMP ID is equal to 123, suppose.
Okay.
You run this query.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose user 1 runs this query. So again, like, do you think how this Oracle will decide which path? Again, right, you have to go to the employee table, go to block. There might be several ways.
Okay.
Oracle might have to put its brain, right? Oracle's brain is Oracle Optimizer. Oracle has to put its brain to just to finalize and which path is good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after you have decided, Oracle will decide. You don't have to decide. You just run this query and you will get the output. Oracle will decide in the background.
Yeah.
But again, deciding will take time. That's why you might have seen when you run the query first time, you will feel it's slow. Next time it's faster.
Okay.
Reasons being, you might have cached the blocks
Buffer cache. Yeah.
in database buffer cache. Secondly, you have already traced the route, which path I have to follow.
Okay.
So another thing, suppose user runs the same query, user 2 runs the same query.
Mm-hmm.
There are two things, either user take the benefit of the decision that you have made, or users should go the same process. So as we are discussing about the SGA, shared global area, we put emphasis on that, okay, you shared most the information that is beneficial to improve the performance.
Yes.
Right? So if user 1 and 2 can share, like whoever run the query first time, if next user who is running the same query can take the benefit, it is good for you, right?
Yes.
So this is called your execution path. It's execution plan or path. Like that, the way that you have decided, that's the execution path. Okay. So, but where you will keep this information? Now the thing comes where you are putting all this information that you have got from the hard work. You need some space.
Oh.
It will be better if you can put in your memory. Where in memory? You will go to shared pool. In shared pool there is a library cache, shared SQL area. You can share the information here.
Okay. So here we have the execution plan, right?
Yes. Yeah.
In data buffer cache we have the information.
Recently used blocks.
Okay.
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 Okay. So this is one block. And what is the data dictionary cache? Okay. Let me go through it. There is another block, right? Data dictionary cache. So what happens? Suppose user 1 is running this query on select on EMP table, but first someone has to check, right? On which the Oracle database will check. Does this user have the access to select from this table? Okay. First of all, is this table exist in the database? Is this column exist in the database? Someone has to check, right? Does your credentials are correct?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So all the thing is stored in that physical files on your disk.
Okay.
Right, your table information, like Oracle just sysdba, user will store all this information, your login credentials, list of all the tables, indexes in your database. That means permanent storage, disk. Okay. Again, when you run the query, this has to go to the disk. Okay, let me go to the disk, select some, find it, if this table exists, this column exists, does this user have the privilege? You have to do it, right?
Yes. Yes.
So is it any way I can bring this information to memory? Not all the information, I cannot accommodate all the information that is available in the disk, but few important information.
information means
right?
related to user.
Like user credentials, table exists or not,
Uh,
query is correct or not. So, okay.
yeah.
So can I put this information in your memory?
Mm.
If you can put it, so next time when user 2 connects or someone runs this query, you don't have to check, validate it. Validate, okay. So where you can put it? This you can put in data dictionary cache.
Okay.
Okay, actually in disk, when we go proceed in the next classes, you will see there are data dictionary tables in the database.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clear? So just we put some information of data dictionary tables in data dictionary cache.
So
Now this
this one is a part of shared pool, right?
yeah, this is part of shared pool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Here, suppose first user want the same information. I mean, he is executing the same query, right? User two. So already user one executed that query, right? So that block is stored in data buffer cache, and that execution plan is in shared pool, right? Execution plan and so the validation and credential,
Yeah.
this formalities,
Correct.
data dictionary cache, right?
Correct. Correct. Perfect.
So first, if user executed the same query, first it should come to shared pool, right? To check the execution plan and right?
Right. First, then user 2 runs the query.
Yes.
First, it should check. Okay, let me check if with execution any my colleague has done generated execution plan earlier.
So it should approach shared pool first, right?
Sorry, I didn't get. I missed that.
Yeah. If user 2 executed the same query, what user 1 executed, so Oracle process first it will approach shared pool, right?
Yeah. See what happens whenever you run a query. First, database will check is any information is available in that shared SGA.
Yes.
Like is the block available in the SGA, or do I have a previous execution plan so I don't have to create? Like you have to go to airport. So before you start thinking, okay, to decide the path to airport, first you will check. Okay, let me talk my friend. If he has that information, why should I work for 20 minutes to finalize a path, right?
You got the point, but here in the memory we have separate parts, right? Shared pool, data buffer cache, and all these things. So which one will respond first, shared pool or data buffer cache?
No, first your shared pool.
Yes.
First first you have to decide which path you have to go, right?
That is I'm asking. Okay.
If you're suppose again, if this query is not correct, what the benefit of, right? This will not execute. First you have to decide, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this is one more important. Redo log buffer.
Redo log buffer. Okay.
So you remember I told you here, like when this is the last thing that I will discuss, because you may want to go to all these three things again in the detail.
Okay.
You might want to correlate. You want the example that I have given to you. You may want to correlate.
Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, if I finish all the things, then you will miss it. Initial days, let's keep the sessions very small. And once you get that architecture concept, then it will be easy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here I told you, like you have updated the block.
Okay.
Okay. Let me create in okay. Suppose this is a block that you have updated. Let me color it in green. Green block that you have updated it.
Okay.
Okay. But you did not ask me, right? I told you that it is not decided when it will be written to the disk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. And you have heard that commit? You know? Have you ever heard there is something commit?
Yes, I know.
Commit is just like a commitment.
Huh.
When you run an insert query and after that you hit commit, enter commit, then Oracle will say commit complete. Commit complete means Oracle is committing you, boss, I am guaranteeing your data.
Okay.
Whether I lose that this memory area or server goes down, I will guarantee you the data.
Okay.
Okay. So let me just create another diagram. Then
So after commit, the redo that block information, they will Oracle that store into the database, right? It will store.
okay. Let me create another diagram. Then it will be easy. So this is database buffer cache, and this is your disk. Suppose there are two disks. Okay. Disk 1 or disk 2. Maybe you can put only one disk.
Yes.
That's not required. Okay. So let me just put a small block here. Okay. This block got updated.
Okay.
And you run it commit. So according to you, when Oracle says I am guaranteeing your data, so this is any memory area. Let me just draw a line.
Okay.
Okay. So top area is on the RAM, that is volatile, and this is your permanent storage.
Okay.
Okay. So what happens if power goes down? Suddenly, if power goes down, you will lose top area.
Yes.
Okay. Now the question comes. You have committed this block. You updated this block. You made some changes, or you might have inserted. You said commit.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Then you said commit. Then you will say, okay, Oracle says commit complete. What do you think? Do you think that Oracle will write it? Oracle will write this block here?
Yes. Yeah, I think it should write.
You think you should write? Hmm?
Yes. I mean, once you
Okay.
after commit.
Once you commit. Okay. So let me give you a scenario.
Okay.
So there is another way. What happens? Suppose there are 100,000 users.
Okay.
1,000 user will update 1,000 blocks, or maybe 10,000 blocks.
Okay.
So if every user runs a commit, and every time you might be running 10,000 blocks, you might be writing simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a problem? It's a big problem.
Yes.
Right? How the 1,000 users can write a disk? So there should be something. Disk is slow. Okay. So let me find a way.
But every user, they don't update the same block, right, in the disk. They may be.
Yeah, they might update. See, they might update a different block, but they have dedicated connection to the disk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying you, this is not the way. When you commit, I'm not writing to disk.
Okay.
But on the same time, I have to guarantee you the data.
Okay.
Okay. So there is a buffer cache redo log buffer.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is circular. Leave first line. Hold the information about the changes made to the database. So again, there is an area in that memory.
Okay.
So let me draw a diagram. So this is redo log buffer. So what this line says, hold the information about the changes made to the database.
Okay.
You made a change into the database.
So it will
so
redo log buffer.
Okay, there is a small point. The whole block will not go to redo log buffer. It will just send that redo information.
Mm-hmm.
Redo info or you can say change vector. So you have updated this block
Okay.
as you haven't committed it. You updated this block, so at the same time that redo information will be written to here, redo log buffer. Again, this is in memory,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, once you commit it,
Okay.
I'm saying one. Okay. Once you commit it, okay, I will flash. Okay, what's happening? I will flash this information to here in the disk.
Okay, after commit.
Yeah. So let me just write it here. Okay, you commit there. This will be flashed here. Now see the difference. Here you are writing the whole block. Now you are not writing the whole block. Instead of you writing very small information.
Mm.
Clear?
So at the time of,
So,
after update the record,
mhm.
it will record in the redo log buffer, right?
Yeah.
Suppose if I don't do commit, it will erase.
It will get discarded. You do rollback, it will be discarded from here.
So okay, once I
Okay.
commit it, it will store in.
So now you saw the difference, right? There was another way. Either you write this way. So I'm saying this is not the right way.
Yeah.
Instead of writing the whole block here immediately, I will write it for sure. You will write it here, but at some other time.
Okay.
Whenever it is feasible. Oracle let Oracle decide it. Okay. So suppose you have committed it, and how I can guarantee the data? You committed it, right?
Yes.
This green block, according to you, ultimately this green block should be here. But it is not written here.
Yeah.
What happens? Suppose you lose all this setup, right? You lose all this setup, the top setup.
After commit or
how you after commit?
Okay. Yeah.
So how? So you will say, boss, I have Oracle's told me that okay, commit complete, then I should get my data.
Okay.
I need this green block in my disk.
Okay.
But I will say, okay, I don't have this block in the disk. Now what to do? So I have this information here.
Yes.
Redo log information.
Yes.
So based upon the redo log information, you can recreate the changes.
Okay.
Got the concept? So if I say, someone asks you what happened in the commit, on commit, Oracle, it is not necessary that Oracle will write the blocks to the disk, but it is necessary, it will write that redo log information from buffer to disk. Again on the disk there comes, you will ask where on the disk. So I will tell you more about that when we go to the physical files. So this is redo log file dedicated to it. Okay.
Okay.
Got it? From database buffer cache, you update a block, that information goes to buffer, you commit it, it goes to redo log file.
Redo log files are located in disks, right?
Disk, yeah, disk, permanent storage. Not in memory, because it's a file, right? If it's a buffer or cache, then it's memory. If it is file, then it's a permanent file.
Okay, okay.
Clear?
Okay.
So far, so good?
Yeah.
Okay. So for now, I will not proceed because again, it's like you may see, you may have lots of questions tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, it's better because this is the main three parts of that database. Sorry, SGA. Okay. This is very important to clear this concept.
Okay.
So go through the documents, go through the video again, and if you have any doubts, so just come up with the questions.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Okay, perfect. So I'm not just going to extend it this session.
Okay.
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 Okay. So tomorrow first I will ask some questions if you want, if you are okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, so that you can. Okay. See you. Bye.
Okay. Okay. Good night. See you.
Good night. See you. Bye.